Memories versus trauma flashback. Hi, welcome to Growth Bound. My name is Rue. I'm on the mission to find our inner strength to heal and become the powerful beings that we were born to be. So join me as I discuss the next chapter of The Body Keeps the Score. So what is the difference between normal memories and trauma flashback? Normal memories have a beginning, middle, and an end. They're like stories that we can tell. And these memories, these stories, do tend to change over the time throughout our own evolution. Memories are changeable as we grow. The flashbacks, however, are different. Flashbacks are invading senses of unchanged pieces of event, and it is burned in our mind, but not as memories that are changeable and moving and have the beginning, middle, and end. These are pieces, like a puzzle pieces of the whole event that occurred, and they're very intrusive. They cause physical discomfort, mental distress, and emotional roller coaster. If, for instance, you ever experience something like that, where out of nowhere you're living your normal life and then something occurs and there was a piece of memory just came through, or some kind of a piece just fell in, where it might be an image, it might be smell, it might be a sound, whatever it is, and it caused such a reaction from you, the body went into a fearful state, that could be an indicator that there is a traumatic flashbacks in your system that are trying to come through, that are trying for you to remember the event so you can take proper steps in healing. Most of the time when we go through some kind of a traumatic event, depending on our age and the frequency of that trauma, we do manage to sometimes completely forget that event, completely lose that memory. And Dr. Linda Mayer Williams, during her graduate study in 1970s, she had interviewed 206 girls age of 10 to 12 from hospital emergency rooms that were admitted there due to the sexual abuse. She had gathered their charts and their testimonies at that time that they were in the hospital. 17 years later, she managed to track down 136 now grown-up women. She interviewed them about the event that occurred 17 years ago. What she had gathered from those interviews is that 38% of women had no memory of being abused. 12% of women denied that they were ever abused. 68% women reported a different sexual abuse. Only 16% of women remembered that they were sexually abused, that it did occur. But they also stated that sometime in their life, they actually had forgotten about that abuse. What she did also find is that those women who did recollect and remembered their sexual abuse, their memory of it were very strikingly similar to the women who never forgotten their sexual abuse. They were very close to the hospital reports and the original statements that they had provided. This shows that the flashbacks don't tend to change over time. There might be some new information that does come through, but most of the time they don't change like memories do. Another study was done by Dr. Bessel Van Der Kolk and his colleagues in 1994. He had gathered 76 volunteers to talk about something that they remember that they cannot forget, something bad that happened in their life that they cannot forget. He ended up asking these volunteers different questions. Some questions were about the good experience in their life, and some questions were about the horrific experience. So what he had found out with the response from those volunteers is that there is two major differences between normal memories and traumatic memories. First difference is that how those two different memories were organized. The second one is the physical response from the speaker about those memories. The normal memories came in as stories that did have beginning, middle, and an end, and they didn't have a lot of physical response about it. And most of the time they couldn't really give too much details. They just remembered the overall. Now, when it came to the traumatic memories, they remembered some very specific details, but they couldn't remember the flow of the event. The traumatic memories didn't have the beginning, middle, or end. They just were remembering pieces of the event that occurred to them. Their body responded as if it was occurring. The body responded in fear or stress. By the end of his study, 85% of the volunteers were able to coherently tell the story of that horrific event, but it did not resolve anything. So just because we are able to remember the event that occurred to us that was very horrific and abusive and traumatic, it doesn't really help. We must remember that we cannot escape the actions that we need to take to heal. Sometimes we have to face this part that we are not very comfortable to face to manage to heal, to manage to grow. Sometimes we have to face it to learn and become the best version of ourselves. And I feel like it is courageous of a person who is willing to face that to become the bigger person. Those who are, please show gratification for your own self that you are willing to become courageous and face the things that many people are afraid to face. You are an amazing being that's ready to heal, and you should remember that. Your path of healing might be uncomfortable at one point, but please remember how strong you are to even start it, and you will be able to finish it, to see the end result. And I cannot wait to celebrate your growth and your healing. Also, like this video if you are ready to heal. Subscribe to my channel so we can grow and reach out more people in hopes that it can help others to grow as well. I know it's time for all of us to come together and create a better environment, better community, and bring into the world the love that it deserves. Share this video with people that you know will help, because sharing is caring, and I truly appreciate that.